A questionnaire asks people to choose their priorities for the area.
Crime of work, it's a rundown area, it's always messy and it's coming up in crime.
The same for lucky area. Alright, except from our druggies. Except from our druggies taking out jewellery off you and that. And all mad drivers what go around pulling skids.
Yeah, I think Beeston is absolutely superb.
Do you?
Yep.
Well, that's
I think it's absolutely great, but the house is a bit down, that's all. The houses are going cheap because there's a lot of drugs. I like this area.
I don't like it round here.
Now my kids are getting older, there's nowhere for my kids and that to go, so it's bad for the kids. And there's a lot of empty houses that are getting burnt and left to rot basically, so it's really going downhill, I think.
Something needs to be done quick.
Really, there aren't a lot of grouses except all this vandalism and litter.
I think it needs a tidy up of all this area.
It's all vandalised and that.
Clean
streets, yeah.
Yes.
Just like litter people coming round and picking out litter up.
A time in a month where they come and collect a skip with litter and unwanted furniture.
Hockey Park, that's now that. I call it a big mess.
People have found drug needles behind hills and stuff.
There's glass all over. Whenever I take my son there, anyone goes there, they can't let him down and play there at all.
Grassford Park. You know, I've been living there nearly over 35 years and never seen like this before. A burning car and throwing rubbish all over the place.
Trees have been burnt down. Lights have been blacked out.
Bottles, rubbish bags, mattress. You know, throw all over this is no need.
Further down from the play area, it's a bit like Randy Park, so there's somewhere for them to run around as well. I've taken my kids there for a picnic, the last bit of sunshine that we had.
You can see little improvements, but like get the tennis courts up, get the nets back up.
Somewhere for the old people to sit, some seats.
I say they should have iron railings put up, yep, and just a little gate where they can put padlocks up.
And fences, I think so. I know it costs a lot of money, but high fence, 7-foot fence.
Maybe some park rangers and people like that.
All they want is a park warden and do something for the vandals. Make them go back and repair it. The responsible owners like her and me will clean up. It's easy, they don't give a cat, let the dogs roam.
I think there should be signs to be no dogs so we don't get too alarmed. Yeah.
You say, please pick up your mess that your dogs leave. Now you can be fined. If you live in a nice clean area, you yourselves feel better.
If somebody was there to keep an eye on everything, I think everything will be all right.
Vandalisms, burglaries, I think it's Latin these days. There's nothing safe.
Our Asian people, they're scared to go out at night time shop.
This is the biggest problem in Northern. The problem where it starts drug dealing, people smoking drugs in the street.
There's rapists, there's drugs, that even though they're not doing that to you, you might think, oh.
You know, there's like groups of boys, lads that stood around. So no, I don't feel very safe. No.
There were a man and he grabbed my mate, right? Yeah. And there were a man. It was getting into the sheet and he kept walking across the playground when girls were doing PE, and I think that needs to be stopped as well.
Domestic violence is a big issue. It's just that it is hidden, and it doesn't come out into the open. In Beeston, I've not known of a domestic violence project, but it definitely is needed in Beeston, yeah.
Put more police round.
It take a long time, the police to come as well, even if something happened, you know, the police don't come out straight, there's a few hours before they come.
Right, I think there should be more police around after school as well, right? Because there's like loads of fighting, like Asians and whites are fighting each other.
Stop the fighting and the racism.
Oh, right, racism, right. Tell me a bit about that. What goes on?
or like black and white people fighting, all the blacks getting with this and all the whites getting with this, and they have big fights with like baseball bats and they involve people out of school.
They should be taught more about the people instead of just about what colour they are or the race that they are.
The police, they'll come and ask you questions, throw in the back, take your details.
They're not tackling the problem, they're not tackling the problem, they're not going about it the right way. I don't feel they are. I mean, all they're doing, all I see them is just grabbing them on the street and just taking them into the van. I mean, why don't they talk to them?
They should be arresting more people for drunk and disorderly. There's just a lot of drunks who hang down there in doorways and stuff and shout at you when you go past. And there's an alley down there. My mum got mugged in there. And they should close the alley off.
Better light is good, and they should make the lamp posts higher as well because they're getting vandalised.
Street lighting would help.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if CCTV would help.
Cameras.
Cameras.
And police.
And police.
Yeah.
Police to do what?
Keep everything safe.
In my street, there's people throwing fireworks about. Yeah.
Fireworks, I think they should not be sold.
I'm partially blind, right, and I don't feel too safe crossing over the roads, you know, because there's a lot of people inching cars and speed and all the time.
Traffic was school.
More traffic control of school areas, because the cars go zooming past.
I think they should have traffic lights on this road because there's been that many accidents on this road after schools and that.
Speed bumps, more speed bumps.
There are a lot of little back streets where even cars run down them streets as well. If they could be blocked off and have artificial turfing put in, then they can play safely on the streets as well.
We need to put somewhere else and kids playing. No place to kids playing.
We need more places to play for the children.
They need somewhere to play, not on the street, definitely. They don't have any, there's a mosque, but not a purpose-built mosque, so they want to see a mosque.
I think it's been going quite successful. We've been very pleased with the turnout for the 4 community open days. This week we're going out to community groups. We've had to be a bit more flexible in terms of finding appropriate ways to talk to each group, and we've had to, I think to a certain degree, sort of play it by ear. We've found it's been a good way of getting people who would not have come to the events in themselves, and it's been especially good at
More area, you know, around here, look, it says no ball games and stuff. More fun parks and that. More sporty things.
Yeah.
5-side football pitch and that.
Well, down at South Leeds, you know, sports centre, there's a football court at the back that you can't see, you know, lines and all, turf's coming up, you know, astroturf, it's all coming up, so when you're running, you're tripping over it.
Some girls there are like interested in rounders and hockey, and the boys are always getting the half of football, they should take it in turns each week. Basketball.
Loads of people go on cross-back to play cricket, but there isn't any proper facilities.
Assault courses, yeah. Running, athletics.
From the bus stop, it's a very, very long way for parents and children to walk down, especially at night. The road itself isn't a very safe place, so we would like a bus service.
Trampolining, PE, riding horses, going on motorbikes.
And the girls have said, especially, and the boys have said that they'd like to see something like a skateboard park.
Snooker. My sister, she's a youth drama, you know, she does drama. All the kids enjoyed it and they all looked forward to going and they wanted to go again. But the funds, they never had the funds for it.
I think they should knock Nettle down and build like a bigger youth club.
I think we should get good cafes.
I was thinking of a bit of library. Safe place for people our age to go and hang out.
A few more places to hang out as well.
More places where we could chill.
Somewhere to hang out, you know, meet your friends. A nightclub, but alcohol-free, drugs-free. Somewhere where parents will allow you to go.
We just need more activities for us to do, and then I think that there'll be less, like, crime.
I mean, all kids complain that they're bored, and they are bored, really. That's why they get into trouble. It's like if I stay at home all day and don't take him out, he starts misbehaving and he's only young now because he's bored, not to do, and that's the same as older kids really.
Kids, children, so cheeky, so rude. The extremities of the people, they're very poverty-stricken, you understand me? Might be mentally ill, a lot of them, some alcoholics and people, drug addicts and people, it's a very difficult problem.
My dad's an alcoholic as well. It's been hard for us as well, with my dad being an alcoholic, that there was no one there to help us when we were younger. I used to be a shoplifter as well, and I got in with the wrong crowd. But I realised myself that there were bad people and you had to change, but they want help for me, I had to do it myself, but I think there should be things there for people to help them.
A community centre, a place like that where they can go, meet each other or get counselling or whatever it needed.
Rehabilitation centres for people that are on drugs to try and help them come off of it.
It's really bad around here for drugs and that, drug abuse.
The drug problem has increased so much that they've got to educate the little children from a very young age in the schools.
And I haven't seen nothing around Beeston to say warn about drugs or the dangers of drugs and all the benefits, anything. Get people that know a lot about drugs and let them talk about it and tell them what they know and what's good and what's bad about it. But if they get someone that's got a lot of respect and well known in Beeston, he can give information to the people, the mothers and fathers, and let them know of the consequences and the effects of drugs.
And a lot of these houses have been converted are very substandard. And when they've got cooking facilities in the same room, you get all the condensation, chest trouble, damp, and very unhygienic conditions.
Bugs been crawling near my window, and all the damp was building up, and they haven't done anything about it. They just said, we can't afford it at the moment.
Around area, they do need improving. Well, we could start with housing, couldn't we, first? I mean, there's a lot of repairs want doing.
Those people that, like long-term tenants in their houses, I think they should have more priority.
Housing associations either should buy the houses or there should be some kind of property management. The housing associations and the private agencies, if they both work together, then maybe they could come up with a plan that could please everybody.
I mean, our lass has got a sister, like she lives in an house over the other side of Albert Park, and I mean, she's crying out for a garden.
There's 7 children and there's my mum, and we've only got 4 bedrooms, and it's still not enough because in one room we've got crammed 4 people in.
Rooms in the houses are actually not enough, so they would like to have houses with more rooms in.
To have houses built large enough with granite flats.
Some people is my age, they can't move, you know, in the stick or about problem, you know, need some sort of centre.
The Asian elderly, they have no place to go to. They don't go to pubs, clubs. They have nowhere to go other than the mosque. And they needed something which was neutral, away from the mosque, but where they could socialise.
Basically, there isn't a lot for women to do, is there? You know, I mean, apart from pubbing it and bingoing it, which I do both of, you know.
Well, generally for women it's just a hard life, isn't it? But for the Asian women, I think there's a lot more need for centres like this.
There's no transport for women, and if there was some transport, I think a lot more women would come to the centre.
Maybe somewhere where parents can get together as well. Offer more English courses and more IT skills.
Half pupil and half like teacher helping you.
Half education.
Half education would be more for them.
They've got to give a lot of job opportunities to the unemployed people in the area.
There's no pressure around here or anything, you know, nurseries or anything, because I can't get back to work. They're just saying they've got a long waiting list.
Little young children should have some sort hair nursery. Not being Asian, you know, everybody mixed.
I don't think the pension itself is sufficient.
No.
I mean, I've got this GP friend who says when she sees elderly people, what she'd really like to do is just write a cheque.
Yes.
Because so often she thinks if they had cash,
yes,
it would just
ease the situation.
It would make so much difference.
Yes.
What I'd like to see is that people could walk the streets without fear of crime. I'd like to see the crime rates go down. I'd like to see that communities actually start engaging each other and don't become anonymous by avoiding each other in the street. And I think if people do that, it will have an effect on the crime.
Understanding is what we should need. We do need understanding of each other. And this way we will get more friendly and cooperative with each other.
You know, this is not going to be for me. But I thoroughly enjoyed that course, and I learned how to use a video camera. We had the editing suite came in and I learned how to edit things. And there are a lot of courses like this that older people can enjoy.
Personally, I'm learning to swim. At 72 years old, I'm learning to swim. It's a right performance, I'll tell you, but I'm still learning.
It'd be nice, wouldn't it, if ultimately a doctor could prescribe a further education course, not just medicines.
Why do you have to retire at a certain age? I don't see why we should do if you feel like work. Why can't you go out and work?
Retirement is based on the health that you possess. For a heavy job, it should be very easy for a person to retire at 55 or 60. But a person who is actually doing administrative type of job, retirement age can be relaxed. Doctors, teachers, business people, we can often see that they want to carry on like me. And I am really enjoying my part-time employment after my retirement.
Well, I find retirement is, there isn't enough hours in the day for it, because I don't know how I found time to go to work. But I'm one, and there are a lot of people who don't look at it that way, they're just boat stiff. And this leads to a poor way of living for a lot of people.
The first issue is whether I will be able to afford to retire. The government's actually talked about retiring police officers at 65, which you've got to think, do you want your police officers walking around the streets at 65
with a Zimmer frame
trying to trace some of the young people around? We'll never catch them.
I enjoy been working, you know, with medical ground I was retired a few years ago. But I think the best to be age won't go more than 65. A lot of people, they're not healthy to work more age, you know, after 65.
That, yeah. I think the answer to this is choice. At the moment, I am using the anti-ageing discrimination laws to stay on in my job because I'm going to be 65 and I should retire. But I don't want to retire. I love my job. I'm a school dinner lady. I don't have to get up early. I work for a couple of hours. I'm home at 2:30 and I get paid. Now, my husband, who worked in a factory from 8 in the morning till 6 at night, he wants to retire. And I think it's just so good when you've got the choice.
We had an advice centre which we had to give up for lack of funding, but a lot of the clients that come there were elderly that needed help with form filling. Now, if you ring up anyway, just told I'll go to 2 Great George Street. Well, a lot of elderly people haven't got that ability to stand in a bus queue, get on the bus and then walk out.
Early September we had a promotion during Citizens Advice Week with the Citizens Advice Service. So stores have made links with local bureau and then they hold advisory sessions in Asda stores. We also have what we call Bobby Lobbies, where we encourage local policemen into stores so that, again, they can hold surgeries and advisory sessions. We have MPs come and hold surgeries in our stores, so that all these services are accessible. And we have
community groups, you know, a very, very good source of information and awareness for people and the elders themselves talking to each other.
There's quite a lot going on, actually, if you can ferret around to find it. But of course, it's the ferreting that is the problem.
Perhaps what would be a good idea is to develop a booklet of all the places that older people could go to, all the clubs that exist, all the resources that are out there specifically for older people.
But I think one basic factor, change the attitudes of people generally towards older persons.
What do you think about the way television portrays people of your age?
I think they're often made to be a victim, the older age group.
Yes.
And I think sometimes they're portrayed to be a nuisance as well.
And does that make you angry?
Yes, it does, yes. Yes, it does.
We will get more friendly and cooperative with each other.